Welcome back to Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Join us as we venture year-round into the fog.
Make sure you give us a like and a follow on your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page where we upload every episode in its video format, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Make sure you're following us on social media to keep up to date with our newest haunted content.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Jamie.
We have made it to everybody's favorite week of the year. I guess HHN is a close second. No, we are, of course, talking about the 1 week until HHN Podathon, baby. We're here. We're kickstarting it off. The energy's high, even though we're halfway through recording this thing already. Not the episode, but the actual episodes themselves. But welcome.
Don't ruin the magic.
I know. If you are new to this, you've probably seen us post about it already, but just for clarification for everybody out there, our 1 week until HHN Podathon, we are the crazy bastards, and whatever the female version of bastardesses, I don't know, bastardettes, that decide, hey, let's put out a full-length episode all week long, which isn't just 7, it's 8. Because we go Friday to Friday. So 8 brand new full-length episodes crafted towards HHN34. We have a lot of fun stuff. Today we are doing our Guess the House, or Guess What's in the House. But we also are going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff. We have a Call-In Madness episode, the HHN Fantasy Draft, which is a fan favorite. We have our Hot Takes. We have our Women of HHN Roundtable. We have a special Horror and Wrestling episode planned. We're going to go into the food and beverage whenever they decide to put those billboards up. And then, of course, polishing off the week with our hype list for HH34, including our houses, shows, scare zones, street experiences. Yeah, it's a lot. On top of that, we had some other things that we are working on behind the scenes, which at the time of this recording, I'm not sure if they're released yet, so I'll hold off on those. But hopefully this speeds your week up, because it sped our month up real quick, recording just about every night in this month. I mean, as much as we can, on top of Shutter Sundays and our live streams and our fantasy football drafts, not episode related, the actual football, fantasy football. So yeah, August is gone. It is over, and we are just about back in the fog. So today, we of course are going into the Guess the House. What that is for every single house we have our own ideas. 3. They might end up being the same. We might overlap because we don't really know what the other one put yet. But we are going to give you our guess, or maybe our hope for what the facade, the have-to-have-it room, and the style of house is for each house. So we're going to go through individually and kind of give you our thoughts on those. And I got a special beer. Well, it's not special, but it's one of my favorites. It is not Pumpkinhead, however, but it is one of my favorite beers, and I saw it at Half Barrel, so I had to grab it. I didn't know how to tie it in, but maybe just because I wanted it. But that is the CPB. This is from Lupulin Brewing Company. It's out from CPB. Minnesota. This is a chocolate peanut butter oatmeal porter. It is delicious.
That's the name. CPB.
Delicious. So I'm going to crack that open. I think it is a well-deserved beer to kick off our HHN Podathon. And Seamus, I think you got something a little special.
I do have something special. Our friends up in Ocoee at Toll Road Brewing Company has a NEPA called Too Many Steps. I'm going to give this bad boy a shot. It's a hazy IPA. Can't really ever go wrong with a NEPA or a hazy IPA of some sort. So we'll go ahead and crack this bad boy open and give it a shot as well.
And I unfortunately do not have anything tonight, friends. I am taking a hiatus until our opening night. Depending on when you're listening to this, could be soon. News. Yeah, right?
That's news to me.
It's also dangerous.
I was just going to say that, and I think I only have like one High Noon left in the fridge, and it's a passion fruit, which I really don't like that much. And I haven't gotten any new beers.
No, it can be dangerous to fast before you go hard for 2 months.
Yeah, right? It'll
That's
be
what I usually
cheap
do. I
opening
take
night.
August off, but with all the episodes and all the nonsense going on, I just couldn't couldn't do it this year, but I did like a little week or so of just like strict eating and water and all that. Speaking of, I should have brought some water. I'm really thirsty, but I guess there's enough water and beer to hold me over for the next hour or so, unless I fall over and perish in the middle of this. And this will be the last episode ever recorded. That would do numbers.
And wither
if I could
away.
just pass out and perish on camera for the pod.
I think it would.
You guys might be set after that. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what we're going into. So let's dive right into it, because in these 1 week till HHN Podathons, we really do just kind of dive into our topics. So let's start with El Artista, a Spanish haunting. I'm going off of how I have them on my list, so they probably don't line up to yours. But who would like to kick us off with what they think the facade is? I think this one, I feel like we might have just a lot of similar answers, especially when it comes to facades.
So I said for the facade. Oh, go ahead, Seamus, if you want to.
No, I'm just going to say that it's the house. That's what I would assume. It's the front of the house. Kind of like what we got with Insidious last year, but I think with more detail on the outside, because I think the part of this is supposed to be that it's like a manor in the forest, right? Like in the woods. Yeah. So maybe it'll be a little more detailed on the outside. But sorry, J-Man, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're okay. I was gonna say the same thing, that I would assume it would be the mansion or the manor facade, but I also thought it'd be really cool, kind of like how they did with the Haunting of Hill House, that facade, if they kind of lengthen the entrance or like the walkway a little bit to it. I think it'd be really fun if they did like a kind of statue garden or like hedge maze sort of thing, like leading up to it. I think that would kind of enhance the manor aspect. And I'm definitely getting some of these ideas from Haunting of Bly Manor, so.
Do you think that... Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, do you think that we're going to get maybe a correlation with all the houses? They're going to hide like a gargoyle on each facade in some way. So like this manor might have a gargoyle on it, and then there's a gargoyle somewhere else. Because they are making a big deal about it being immersive, but also this whole idea of classic horror is supposed to tie into the event. So maybe they're going to tie certain pieces like that into each house.
I am curious because every year they do hide something in the houses, whether it was like
that too,
little frogs or whatever, and butterflies. I'm curious what the little hidden thing will be. But I also put just the manor itself walking up, but I added that I'm hoping that they have some sort of like Sergio audio overlay, like of him explaining like, oh, I escaped here to get some peace and quiet and work on my art or blah, blah, blah. And you could have like I'm just picturing the Haunting of Hill House entrance a lot, where it's you're walking up to the house and you can hear lightning and thunder, and like you could tell it's just a ominous time. But kind of like that's what I had.
Like what we had in the Tooth Fairy house too, where we had like the voiceover telling the story of what happened to the little boy.
That's kind of where I'm thinking a little bit. So what is your have to have it room in this? I think these ones will vary a little bit.
So I think for me, the last scene has to be what is the character's name again? I'm sorry. Sergio. It's Sergio, and he's either working on like his masterpiece or his like final masterpiece, and it's this big canvas, and he's like painting or whatever, and then like they use some sort of effect to have like the canvas either come to life or whatever, and like he sacrifices himself or whatever or something along those lines. But I think that final scene needs to be like a big gallery, and it's him working on this big canvas, and he's tortured, and he's doing the whole bit.
Yeah, damn it! I thought we were gonna be different.
Oh my god, you guys were so funny. I had some different. Luckily.
Not to that scale, but I put. I want to walk through a room full of like easels that are all blacked out and you scribbled.
It's a little
upon.
different. I mean, I think it's similar, but it's a little different. I mean,
and I wanted to find a way to maybe have somebody, like if you could have a character pop out through one of the easels at you. So it's like you could like almost corner it on a wall, like that one's hanging from a wall, sort of like how they did with the clown room in Slaughter Cinema 2, where like they kind of come through the poster. Like you could have that as an easel and having them like come through an easel. So
and they use like that stretchy material where it looks like a painting, but it's like, that would be kind of cool.
Yep. So similar, but I like yours as the finale, where it's like I'm picturing like a giant, like 10-foot easel of him just
That's
like
kind of
throwing
what
shit
is,
on it. Yep.
He's like going all Jackson Pollock or whatever because he's lost his mind, but like it's actually forming an image. Like maybe like he's throwing paint, but it like actually forming the image of like a bloody skull or something that represents his madness or fall into madness, which would be kind of cool.
What would be really cool is if you could find a way, if that giant canvas was like video oriented, so you have this character like pretending to throw something, and then
that would be really cool.
It appears on the screen. That would be fun. But Jamie, so what would you put for like a have to have it room?
So I would really like to see kind of how you guys were going off a little bit, kind of wanting Nick, how you were saying the canvases on the wall, kind of like scare actors pop out and stuff. I would really like to see like an illusions type of room. Now, hear me out. I know it sounds silly because I like magic.
They're not tricks. They're illusions.
But I was thinking more so along the lines how we've seen in the Weekend House before, how they kind of had the wallpaper with the people blended in on the walls, the scare actors, and same with museum in that room as well. But I thought it would be fun. So Nick, it was kind of on the same route as you, but to have the scare actors kind of matched with the background, but kind of have like a painting on their head, so the paintings are literally like walking out at you kind of thing.
Okay.
So I thought
I'm thinking like Conjuring 2, like when the nun walks from the painting.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, true.
Yeah, so I thought that'd be kind of fun, and they could blend them in with the walls and stuff like that. And if they dim the lights, and you know how they do those rooms really well anyway.
Hide
so
it.
I think they could be fun. Yeah.
I like that one. Good. That's fun. I'm going to be pretty disappointed if I don't get that now.
Yeah, I know, right? Sounds great.
So style of house. What kind of style would you sort of classify this one as? I kind of went simple. I just put like this is going to be the extremely scary house.
I'm scary, scenic, and immersive.
Yeah, I'm going to call it not straight up Gothic, but like Latin Gothic, I guess. I don't know. I can't really think of a good term for it, but it's going to be like, instead of like an American Gothic style house, it's going to be more Latin or Hispanic flavored Gothic look. But I mean by Gothic is like very Victorian-esque, very, very classic, heavy on scenery and setting, which I think is what kind of has come to define a Dylan house, is very scenic, very, very pretty, very well thought out, but also very dark at the same time. So maybe not necessarily like over the top scary, but like scary in the sense that you just have a constant feeling of unease because you're never really quite sure what's around every corner.
Yep. I like that. All right, so let's move on now. Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters. Facade. What do we think the facade for Hatchet and Chains is going to be?
Oh, please be a Western saloon with the swinging doors.
A rootin' tootin' saloon?
A rootin' tootin'.
That's literally what I was going to say. It was a saloon, too. Yes.
With the swinging doors.
Yes.
I had
a cactus.
Yeah. I had two. I put one, the bar room, kind of like Slaughter Cinema 2, so it's kind of like we're picking up where we left off.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
My other option would be some sort of just like long hallway with a bunch of wanted posters of like the lava demons or something like that, just to kind of like break it apart a little bit.
The only other thought I had was maybe we're walking into like a movie theater screen or a movie theater of some kind, because like technically it's part of the Slaughter Cinema universe, so maybe we're walking into the movie, and it carries us into that first scene where we're walking into the saloon, and it's like a reimagining of what that scene was, and then we go out from there and we learn more about the characters and the demon hunting. And
it is funny because it's like, am I in a real story or am I in the movie?
The movie within
like
a movie, yeah.
You know, that's
how
the
meta
fun
are they
part.
going to get with it? Because the thing is, they didn't do that with Yeti. Like, I think they just took Yeti and made it its own thing. So it'll probably be like that. But I was thinking it would be kind of cool if they were like, if they got meta with it and it was like, you're in the movie set within this universe.
Like one of the scenes, like you're walking by like a casting director or somebody rolling a camera.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Like the director, it's like a little like
you're backstage
like
almost.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. Would you like it
Or there's
more
like a
if it was
director's
meta like
chair
that?
and it's got the director's name on it.
Yeah. Would you like it meta like that, or would you prefer
I
it
would
just...
prefer it,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But I get it if they're kind of focusing solely on the story of Hatchet and Chains. I mean, that I get why they would do that, because it was an interesting vignette in that house. So
Yeah. So we kind of all had similar facades. So then maybe our have to have it rooms might vary a little bit. But as we've already gone 1 for 1, I don't know. We'll see how differing our opinions are. So Jamie, what would you put for your have to have it room for Hatchet and Chains? As she takes a swig.
I was just going to say, sorry, I had to take a sip of water. So this one sounds really good in my head, but it's hard to explain. So I was kind of thinking, I really think, and I'd like to see, for like a hell room.
Okay. Like where the lava demons are coming
kind
from,
of like
or whatever.
where the lava demons are coming from, and Hatchet and Chains, if that's their names. I would assume that's their names. I kind of didn't really do the back stuff. Yeah. Anyways, kind of going into the pits in hell to like on that part of their journey to fight them off. You know, they could have lassos in there, lassoing them, stuff like that. But they could really play with the colors and maybe even some of like the temperature stuff in there, just depending. But I think it could be really fun, and it would be, for what is probably going to be a mostly Western-based house, I think it would give it a nice change of scenery to have something like that and to explore that other aspect of Hatchet and Chains.
I could see that being like the ending of the house. They're like,
there you
the
go.
only way is to rid these demons is bring them to hell.
Yeah.
And there you are. Yep. I like that. I put, for my have to have it room, I kind of want like a sundown duel setting. I want to be like in the middle of a Western street with like storefronts on either side, and we're walking down
you essentially stole my my idea.
I want to walk down the dusty road.
Showdown at sundown.
Yep.
The clock tower. The main streets have like horse sounds or whatever.
Yep.
Like bring the horse back. Yep. Yeah. I want that.
I want the spurs. The walking spurs sound and stuff like that. I want some old dude on a porch like hitting a spittoon. Ping!
Yeah, or just the sound of like cowboy boots and spurs. That specific, that boom ching sound. Like you can. There's a very specific sound to stepping with spurs on, and that's what I kind of want to. So
yeah, I had to go because I figured me and you were gonna be on the same mind link for a lot of these. So I feel like this one is pretty easy to kind of lock down the style of house. So like maybe something other than Western, because it's very clearly Western.
It's funny.
You think like kind of a little goofy from the Slaughter Cinema side?
I think it's gonna have a little being
I
from
almost
Slaughter
said
Cinema.
It could be a little funny, but I think it'll feel like a spaghetti Western or like a dark Western.
Yeehaw! Now let's wrangle up them demons. I could see it being fun. Yeah.
Oh, now Jamie's coming around to the Hatchet and Chains after all these months.
Hey, sorry I have such creative ideas tonight. I guess for once.
I kind of put the same thing. I put a little goofy.
Goofy is a better word than funny.
Parentheses with Western, like because it is such a ridiculous concept. Like you have to. I don't know if you have to lean full head on into the comedy aspect, but I think you have to note what a bizarre concept this is. Demon bounty hunters, Western, wrangling up lava demons. Like, it's outrageous. So that's kind of where I have in that one. So let's jump into an IP now. Let's go into the Jason universe. We are going in really just no order. This is how I listed them. So the facade, I feel like we might have similar answers, but Seamus, what are your? I
don't know. This one's actually, it's kind of tough because there are a number of ways they could go with it. I mean, I think the easy answer is walking into Camp Crystal Lake, like having the sign there as you're walking in where it just says Crystal Lake or Camp Crystal Lake or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, if it's that. Is that enough? Does it need to be more than just that? I mean, it would be. I would like it where like it is you walking into the camp and then you have the old guy from one and he's like, "You're all doomed," and he just like Ralph. he just comes out of nowhere and he gets you as you walk into it. That would be cool, but
It's
I don't
got
know.
a death curse.
It's a death curse. You're all doomed. That would be cool, but at the same time, we have really no idea what this house is going to be. Like, is it going to be a mishmash of all his movies, or is it just going to be Jason at the camp and their reimagining of a lot of things?
Yep.
From the first couple of movies. I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, I really don't have a good answer other than walking into Camp Crystal Lake with that iconic sign.
I'll just follow up because that's what I had. Walking into through the camp setting with the, beat up yellow Camp Crystal Lake sign, maybe hanging from one side so it's all,
it's all beat up.
Yep. So that's what I had. So Jamie, did you have anything different?
No, that was also mine. But I was thinking maybe if not walking directly into Camp Crystal Lake with the sign, maybe them making a pretty cool cabin facade and walking into one of the cabins would be fun too.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. I do think that you'll at least have walking into Jason's cabin at some point. That will be part of it. That could be the very first thing you walk into too. That is a good point.
Yep. So then what would you put as your have to have it room for Jason Universe?
My heart says New York City skyline, but I know that's not going to happen. I really do. I wish they would have Jason X in this in some way. I want to walk onto a spaceship scene and have that metal masked Jason.
Uber Jason.
Yeah, Uber Jason. I mean, if you're asking what do personally I have to have, that would be it. But I don't know.
My have to have it is Nintendo Jason. I need it. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, I need the old school Nintendo Jason. If we're doing what they refer to as a gauntlet of Jasons, dude, he's a part of it. He's just do it. If you're gonna go all in and you're gonna be just a fucking hodgepodge of Jasons, just throw them in there, because that is the most, other than you said Uber Jason, that is the most different looking Jason. That's the really one that you could tell the difference apart. So I need that. But more realistically, I said the have to have it room would probably be the Pamela Voorhees head monument in his little cabin.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's obviously more realistic, but wish list item, Nintendo Jason. If you couldn't tell from our shirts.
All right. Yeah.
So Jamie, what do you got?
For me, it was kind of tough because, as some of you know, I haven't really seen many of the Friday the 13th movies, unfortunately. So I definitely had to take Nick's one on this one. I also would like to see Nintendo Jason. I think it'd be really cool.
Well, 2 for 3. We got to see it now, I guess. So, style of house. What are we thinking?
I'll just say not really a style, but it's going to be that prototypical IP house where it's all about just being pulled into Jason's world. So it'll be scary. It'll be somewhat gory, but I think the idea is that you're supposed to just come across all these different Jasons, and he's going to be the sole purpose for this house. And I think that for the most part, the settings themselves will be secondary to him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't really know if there's a good style to put this in other than just scary IP, but experience. It's like an IP experience, I think, is the best way I can put it.
Yeah. Jamie, what are you thinking?
I put bloody and campy.
Yeah, I put nostalgia, but
That's
also
a good one. I put
think
that
it's
for
going to be
another
very
category for another house.
I think this is going to be very claustrophobic.
Ooh,
I think just playing into the location that they have it at, I think that's one of the aspects of a haunted house that is convenient for them to fall into, being over in the Fast and the Furious queue. I think if you don't have a lot of space to work with, you have to kind of lean into that and use it to your advantage. So tight corners, big dudes popping out in tight spaces. I think it's going to be, whether they wanted it there for this reason or not, I think claustrophobia is going to be a big aspect of this house. So we'll see. We shall see. So let's get into Dolls Let's Play Dead. Jamie, this is one of something you're looking forward to.
I am.
So why don't you kick us off? What do you think the facados, and with these exterior houses, we sort of kind of have seen aerial shots, but kind of I'm thinking like once you enter the house, what are we going to see?
So you kind of caught me off guard with that one because I had just put that we were going to get the dollhouse facade, but I think it'd be kind of cooler. I don't know how they would able to pan it out and make it look realistic, but it would just be really, really fun because usually back in the day, older dollhouses, when you would open them up from the front, those kind of like big display dollhouses, you would have them opened up and you would have all the different rooms that you could see kind of like in one layout. It would be fun to kind of replicate something like that, but I know it would just be really hard to do unless they kind of made like an archway of all the different rooms and kind of a thing like that, and then you walk through it as if you're walking through that opened up dollhouse.
Okay. Yeah. Seamus, what are you thinking for dolls?
Yeah, I mean, I like that idea where she's going with it. I think you actually walk into a dollhouse, and then as you're walking in, it feels like you're walking into the bedroom of the child. So like it's like the dollhouse is opened up from the front or from the back. So when you're walking in the front, it looks like the front of a dollhouse, and as you walk in, you see like a big like bed frame or something like that, or a big bookcase, and then like you're supposed to be smaller doll size. So I would assume everything is larger in scale to simulate you being at the size of a doll.
Yeah, I kind of
So
played
like walking
into that.
into her bedroom.
Yeah, I played into that aspect where I'm like, I'd like to walk through like a hallway with big openings that look like dollhouse, like circular windows, and having like a video screen or something of like these big eyes like blinking at you, like her eyes, like she's looking at you, to kind of give us that feeling of we are now teeny tiny and Lila is this gigantic child, to kind of play in that aspect of, no, we shrunk down. We're in the house now. Something like that. So what would be your have to have it room for this? Silence.
It's tough. It's tough with this one because the way I picture it, how they're supposed to be having everything like larger than life, and we're supposed to be doll size and everything else is supposed to be bigger, I kind of think of like a room with a big toy box with a bunch of big toys kind of sprawled out everywhere. But it's like, how would they make this pan out in a house to try to make something like that and build a prop big enough to like work with the dimensions and like the play of it? But I guess like a playroom, like not just like a doll's room, but like other toys, like different stuff like that too. Yeah.
Yep.
Like maybe like a big like rocking horse or something like that.
Yeah, and we've seen them play with scale before, especially with Descendants of Destruction. They made you feel like there was 4 super full-size subway cars crashing through the ground. So they did a really good job of making that happen in an older tent. If this isn't one of the new tents,
it is the older tents as well.
Oh, is it an older tent? But they have proven that they can do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially in those tents. Like, they've done it before.
I do think of, like, Insidious, though, with the super big red door that you walked through. That's kind of, like, what I want to picture through that whole house.
That's what I
like,
kind of picture.
Yes.
This, too.
Well, even look at, like, Puppet Theater. That was in the old tents as well. And remember that scene where you walk into the...
Yeah, and it's like a 2-story... It feels like a 2-story, like, stage. Yeah, so they can easily do it. I think that, like...
I think they just have to work up. There's going to be a lot of stuff on walls. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff maybe hanging up more, if that makes sense. But
probably going to be... This is going to be the mannequin house.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be a ton of mannequin usage. So we're going to get multiple rooms of what look like Barbie dolls or whatever. But then you don't know which ones are going to be alive and which ones aren't. Because my opinion is that, like, a lot of the scare actors are going to be other toys. Right.
Yeah, because they're your size now. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I put for my have to have it room, I want like a tea party scene. I feel like that was big with dolls.
That would be kind of
you're
cool.
Always playing
but
tea
with, like,
party or
fucked
whatever.
up, like with like fucked up toys and like dolls that like look messed up and like rearranged and
they're all burnt from the tea and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. So you kind of alluded to it, Seamus. So style of house, would you just call this mannequin house?
No, I'm actually still leaning towards this kind of being potentially not the funny house, not the humor house, but like a little more levity to it. Like it's it's gonna be scary, but it's not gonna be taken as serious. I think it's supposed to be kind of a unique and magical situation that you find yourself in. So I think they're gonna be a little bit more over the top with it, or maybe like even more like the Oddfellow house, where that one was scary, but it was all like very colorful, wacky, loud, kind of over the top with a lot of the visuals. I think that's what this one's probably going to be, at least judging based on the logo for it. It just feels kind of like brightly colored in some way.
Yeah. I put twisted as my
that's another good word for it, I think.
As my style of house. So Jamie,
because I feel like we're gonna get like her like voiceover too, like the little girl.
Yeah, I could hear like
hey,
audio.
come like that type of thing. You know what I mean? And like you hear like the noise of like a jewelry box or like one of those like ballerina box things that like make noise or whatever. So you're gonna get some of that like chime music and her talking and being creepy and weird. And
I could see it also like us like hearing her footsteps like patter towards us. And it's like
boom,
we're
boom,
almost
boom,
trying
boom.
to avoid her.
Yeah.
But so, Jamie, what would you put as your style of house for dolls?
I put dark, not as like dark as in no light, but kind of like a dark house. But also, I think this might sort of be like our fun house aspect too.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's move over to one of the new tents then. So Galkin, Monsters of the North.
This one's hard.
This one's a little bit trickier. So I'll kick it off with my facade, and then we can go to Seamus, because I know this is one of the ones he's really anticipating. So I am kind of expecting us to walk into, like, maybe this, like, crashed... I know we're not doing Vikings, but, like, a crashed boat of sorts, like, in a village or something, with, like, this book of legends being read to us, like, of the... I forget the name of the character that's, like, the... one on the key art. It's kind of like a Hela style character, but the legends of so and so have been discussed for ages. Blah blah blah. I feel like it could be some sort of like audio overlay of telling us the story, but that's what I had. This one was a little bit trickier. But Seamus, what are you kind of anticipating walking into?
So what I think this is going to be is it's going to be us walking into a coastal Viking village, but like one that looks like it's been run over or destroyed. So like there's going to be like a embering fire, like not a full bonfire, but like embers like sparkling or whatever. Like it's been like recently either ransacked or what looks like it's been invaded or raided. And we're going to have, I think you're going to have some of like the sea sounds, kind of like when we walked into frequent fear. Jesus. When we walked into Dead Man's,
yep.
And it felt like you were like in a coastal city or coastal town. You had the boats and the water and stuff. I think we're gonna have that effect where you hear kind of like the sound of the sails flapping,
Okay.
and you feel some of that mist, and you hear the water, and it's gonna be cold and snowy because it's gonna be like a snowy house like up in the north. But you walk by that fire pit or whatever, and you hear the fire crackling or whatever. And then I think it's supposed to look like they were attacked by another rival clan, but then it turns out, it's actually the monsters of the north that have gotten them. And then we got to go into the woods, like into the forest.
Okay. All right. Jamie, what are you thinking for the facade of this?
I was thinking kind of along the lines of what you were saying, Seamus, how the monsters are like the other territory to kind of attack them. But what I was thinking was maybe kind of like a dilapidated, their kind of fortress or castle of sorts that you would walk into that has been overrun by these monsters, and you're now seeing the after effects of what everything kind of looks like.
Yeah.
So, Seamus, what would your have to have it room be for Galkin? What do you like?
I think
really
my have to have it is more of not just the room, but like a feature. This is the house that we need a really, really sick puppet or animatronic. And I'm thinking like a direwolf size, like a massive, like fucked up wolf, like direwolf thing. Like kind of like, I think they may actually even, if you look at what they released for it, there might be some sort of wolf in the background or whatever.
There's like a wolf next to.
So like the
creature.
lady obviously is like, I think like the big bad. I don't know if they call her Galkin or whatever, like that's her name or whatever that comes from. I haven't done enough research. Like obviously that's like the main baddie, but I need like some big badass like Hela type wolf.
Yes. Yep.
And like as you come into the room, like it like roars, it's got the glowing red eyes, and it like attacks you or whatever. Kind of like they have with the shark in
Oh yeah, Slaughter.
in Slaughter, but like I just more beastly,
Yep.
more like
The
more
fur.
more hands on, like more than just a head. Like I need like the paws and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like the noises and the growling and stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why I specifically wolf, but it just feels so like Nordic to me to have like some big dire wolf. Plus, I'm a Game of Thrones fan, so I like dire wolves.
I'm picturing like a dark hallway with a bunch of like little red eyes, and one of them is the puppet. Yeah.
Oh, and it kind of like comes out at you as you walk by it.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So, Jamie, what would you put as your like have to have it room?
I don't know if it would so much as be a room or as like kind of a hallway or of a connector in the house, but I really, since I think this room will be this house will be a little bit more temperature based as well, I would really like to see kind of like a snowy forest. I know they've been able to do rain for kind of how when we walked into the Monsters Unmasked that year, stuff like that, kind of with the clouds in the background, the thunder sounds and stuff. I would really like to see that do it with snow. I know it sounds kind of silly, but I just think this will be a very scenic house too, and I think that would be a really cool addition.
Yeah. I want some sort of, I keep thinking of Blood Moon, but I want some sort of like town center scene. Like, I don't know if they're doing, like, I'm kind of like mixing this now with like Midsommar, like something in that sense where there's like a celebration or a festival or something that they're doing to either like ward away these monsters, or maybe these people are like praising the monsters and viewing it as like a cleansing or something.
Almost kind of like, do you ever see that movie, The Ritual?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
it's kind of the same idea where like they were like worshiping this like monster or whatever, and it actually turns out that
monster's sick looking too.
Like it was like a sacrifice almost.
Yeah.
And I think this is supposed to be like post, like after it all happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm picturing it, like not like happening as we're going through. Like we're seeing like the tail end of the monster just ruining this Viking village.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like kind of like Wendigo style, right? That's
yeah, similar. Yes, yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah, that's what I had. So, style of house. What did we put for your style of house for Galkin?
Cold.
Yeah. I'm hoping.
I don't really have another way to put it. Like I'm thinking like original Yeti, but obviously a different setting, different place.
I just put I put two. I put mythic and atmospheric.
I put mythical.
Okay.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah, I
think that's the vibe that
mythical's
we'll
not a
get.
bad word for it, yeah.
Yeah, because I do think it will. Yeah, it's not in the supernatural sense. It's kind of like this folklore-y, mythical style sense of house. So that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. All right, let's get to another easy IP, Terrifier. I feel like we know a lot about this house before we go into it, just from all the articles that have been posted lately. But the facade, I think we might all have the same answer.
The fun house.
Probably the fun house, right?
Yep.
I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
If I had to guess.
Exactly. That's exactly what I can just imagine. It reminds me of Us when you turn the corner and it's like that pier walkway.
Yes.
And it's like the funhouse entrance. That's
the only other thing I was thinking, maybe like a big top or something, look kind of almost circusy a little bit. But obviously, if they're following the movie, it's going to be the funhouse, right?
Yeah, I think it has to be. So, what of the franchise then, what would you have as your have to have it room?
I think just because I want to see them do it, I want to see him sawing a chick in half.
Yep, just to see.
I mean,
just to put your cards on the table.
I mean, just to see them, say, all right,
do it. Yeah.
Balls out. Let's go. If you're gonna do it, do it. Like I want to see a half naked chick being sawed in half. Like that was one of the biggest set pieces of the first movie. Like you're gonna do Terrifier, go all out. I want burning babies on umbilical cords being swung around some dude's head. Like I want to see it. Like don't pansy art this. Like you know what I mean? Don't make this like cheapened art. Like if you're gonna do Art the Clown and say this is like the craziest house we've ever done, then there better be some like shit that makes moms do the fucking Holy Trinity when they walk into this motherfucker. Like I'm not even joking. Water. Like I told you when we talked about this a couple episodes ago, I want people throwing up when they leave this house.
Yeah.
If I don't see at least one person over the 2 months that I'm going to this event not vomiting after going through that house, I'll believe that wasn't a good house. Didn't do what it was supposed to do.
I hope they have branded Terrifier barf bags like they did for the movie. That would be so funny.
That would be funny too.
Right.
I cannot wait to see like
souvenir, please.
like the Facebook groups after this house. After people start going through this house, like I want to see the complaints. I can't
and
wait.
It's
just the popcorn. I'm just gonna have the popcorn ready because I cannot wait.
It's just crazy too, because literally people are like, yeah, people were throwing up and passing out in the movie theater, and I'm like, bitch, I need to see this happen because there's no way people are throwing up in the theater.
I need to see it happen.
Yeah, I won't believe it till I see it. Yeah. So, Jamie, what would you have as your have to have it room?
I, of course, just because there's something so special about this scene, and I know it's probably going to be in the house. I'm almost positive, but just the contrast of this bright, happy, kind of childlike essence combined with all this blood and gore. But the Clown Cafe, of course, has to be there, and I want to see the playset. I want to see the trailer set up. I want to see Art riding around on the bicycle, the big art mural in the background, all the different
Art
kids.
with a flamethrower.
Art with the flamethrower. Probably not the machine gun flamethrower.
Fuck no. He better have a goddamn Tommy gun.
Flamethrower, I feel like is a little more a little more realistic.
Like if he does, oh come on, man.
I don't think he's gonna have any guns in the house. I don't think Universal's gonna have him do any guns. And that's honestly, and I hope he doesn't, because that's the one thing. That's the one thing I hate about Art the Clown. I was watching the original Terrifier.
So
I hate it because I was watching the original Terrifier yesterday, and I always forget her name. The one main girl, Tara, I think her name is.
Tara.
And she's like, "Come on, bitch, get up!" And he's like, "Oh!" And then he's like down on his, and he pulls the fucking gun out of his ankle, and it makes me so mad. And I'm like, what a cheater!
Yeah,
you
I
cheater!
Hate it so much. Yeah, he really brought a gun to a knife fight.
Yeah, and I was like,
dick.
that's not fair.
He's such a cocksucker. I also put Clown Cafe.
Yeah, it would
it's
be
just
really
so fun.
It
it's
is
just
fun.
There's no way this is not in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's other than like the kills. It is the most, I think, prominent what you think of when you think.
And that's
of
where the song,
Terrifier.
like, because I haven't seen the third one yet, but like the song playing with like the da 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 da, like they have to kind of be playing that too. Right.
The food's a little funny.
Yep. The food's a little funny. The food's a little funny. The food's a little funny at the Clown Cafe. Yes, we have to have it. Style of house. What are we thinking?
Over the top.
Yeah. Gore, 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 gore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Obscene gore. I think that's, if you're doing Terrifier and you're doing what you say you are, that's the only definition for it, I'd say. Yep.
Like if I don't say, oh, he got it in my mouth just once this year, I'll be upset.
Yep. So
Seamus out of context.
Yeah, clip it. Editor. That's me.
That's you.
Horrors of the Wyatt Six. The facade. What do we think the facade will be for the Horrors of the Wyatt Six?
Walking into the Firefly Funhouse.
Okay, straight right into the funhouse.
Just right into the funhouse.
Okay. I want it to be kind of walking almost like Icons Captured, where we're walking into Bray's Lantern.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool too.
And I want like the theme playing, not Code Orange's Shatter. I want that at some other point, but I want the Wyatt entrance where it's a little bit more just instrumental and
what would be kind of cool too is like you have like all the lights.
Yeah,
when you're walking in and it's simulating all like the fireflies, like that would be that would be really cool too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I have for my facade. Jamie, what would you have as like the entrance to this?
I took your idea, Nick. I also had the lantern walking in because I remember you had mentioning it before, way back when this was even announced for a house, and how it'd be cool to have that if that was ever going to be a house. And I was like, you know what? You might be onto something there, Nick.
Yeah.
But my second... I was just going to say, my second would have been the Firefly Funhouse entrance, though, too.
Yeah, which is tricky because we've never seen the exterior of the Firefly Funhouse.
I was just going to say,
never. It's always inside. Mm-hmm. So it could be anything. But so for Have to Have It room, I'll go because it was sort of what Seamus had said. I wanted a black hallway or a black room with the fireflies, with just little lights, little white lights floating around.
That's a good
kind of
idea.
like A Quiet Place, that entrance, that long, dark, blacked out hallway. I'd have something like that, but lined with the fireflies above you as well.
With that theme playing, that instrumental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my Have to Have It room. What else do we have?
if the facade wasn't going to be it, I would like to see the Firefly Funhouse inside the house. But I was going to say it would be kind of really cool if they did it kind of how it was when it was on WWE, when you would watch it on TV. It was like you were watching a show within a show. It's really hard to explain kind of how it is, but it'd be kind of cool if they had like the director with the camera, like sitting in the chair, like filming in like all the different characters, and we're walking through it, and then we're becoming part of the show, and we're accidentally walking on set, and that's when the lights flicker and everything goes dark and switches up. And I could picture it in my head a lot better than I could explain it, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to go along the lines of.
Yeah, you're like on set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seamus, do you have a have to have it room?
Not really. I think that with this one, I wouldn't mind it, like maybe not necessarily a room, but at some point when you're like maybe when you're like when you first walk in through the facade, like you see kind of like Bray from behind, and I don't know if it's if he's talking to himself or whatever, but you're kind of like going into his mind essentially. So you like see him like maybe writing or typing or doing something, and like, you know, he's talking over like some sort of voiceover, talking about what's going on, and like how we're going into his world, and being kind of brought into that Firefly environment. So kind
of reminds me of kind of the entrance of Case Files
a little bit, yeah.
Where that guy's kind of like pacing back and forth, and it's like monologuing almost.
Yeah,
I like that. So the style of house for Horrors of the Wyatt Six.
It's funny that you bring up Case Files, because I was almost thinking like neo-noir in a little in a certain way. Like obviously he's kind of in a way a little bit of that Rob Zombie hellbilly-ish aesthetic vibe, too. Yeah. A little bit of that vibe, very sepia toned. At least the early Wyatt stuff was. I don't know so much about the Wyatt Six. I don't really watch, you know, much of the current stuff, but you know, so I was thinking like something along those lines, either neo noir or maybe more like a sepia toned Rob Zombie-esque type feeling or vibe to it.
Yeah, I put dark, and I put underrated. I feel like this is going to be the slept on house. I think it's going to...
I agree with that for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe if it's not a style, it's definitely going to be like slept on for a little, for a while.
Yeah. But Jamie, what would you put for your style of this one?
I put storytelling. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I think even though this will be a very visually pleasing house, and I think it'll be pretty scary too. And like you said, Nick, I think it'll be a little underrated. I think we are going to get that backstory, though. I don't think it's just going to be a bunch of stacked in different rooms. I do think we're going to have some sort of voiceover sort of throughout the house, kind of guiding us along, if you will.
Yeah, I think so as well. All right, so let's move along to Grave of Flesh. This is the one I feel like we know the least amount, so I didn't want to do it last because it might not be the best. But the facade, what do you think how are we walking into this house?
I think we're walking into a mausoleum.
A cemetery? No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, honestly, that's, Yeah,
because I remember they made note of, like, you're walking into your funeral. So I was curious if, like, we're walking down, like, an aisle.
Like a funeral
in between
procession?
the pews.
That'd be cool.
And, like, it's kind of like that Blood Moon scene where, like, there's some static figures and there's some scare actors sitting there, like, weeping and crying. And you're walking through almost as if you're being carried in your casket to, like, your resting place. I think that might be a way to start it, which would be a cool little intro. But I'm curious, other than that, how they get the point across of we're at your funeral.
Correct.
Because what are they going to do? Have like a big billboard that says like in memory of you. Which they might. So we'll see. It's like the grave at the end of Monstros 2. So the have to have it room. This is interesting. What do you have for your have to have it room, Jamie?
I don't want to say.
Pass.
No. I put an underground room, and obviously an underground room is not going to be a plausible thing, but when I think of Grave of Flesh, it's like, man, I just think of like being buried alive, which is really scary, and if they kind of play off that, like fear in the house, I think it could be really fun. So if they could make it as if you're underground. The walls are dirt. It kind of feels like everything's like filling up on you. I think it'd be really cool.
Darkest Deal did that. We had those dirt walls.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. You're right. And I thought I sounded crazy saying it.
Characters on the top, like reaching down at you or something.
Through the vines a little bit, yeah. So I thought that would be cool. Or kind of like also sounds kind of silly, but be kind of scary. A coffin room.
Okay.
A bunch of different coffins in the room with different scare actors popping out of them.
Somebody trying to sell them to you. This one is a lot more roomy. This one comes with a TV. I'll go with mine because I had something similar to the caskets. I want if it's not multiple caskets, I want a large casket, and they do the Russian doll scare, where the actor comes out from the middle of it without you knowing it's there. They did that.
Okay.
And I think it was Darkest Deal as well.
It might have been Darkest Deal. I think it was.
They recently did it in Goblins as well, because the person would come out from the big goblin king statue or whatever. You're looking at it and you're like, oh, that's a cool statue, and you don't really notice that it's flaps on the front and they come out from in between it. So I'm like, all right, I want to see a big casket Russian doll scare.
I like that.
Yeah. So Seamus, what would you have for your have to have it room?
If I have to have it, this one's hard because
this one's very hard.
It doesn't give away a lot with the description. I mean, my thought was, again, I've done a house in another haunt before that's similar to going underground into a grave.
Ooh.
And they simulated going under the ground by putting those big, I call them blow up butthole things, squeeze you. You have to squeeze through these blow up wall things. They're incredibly claustrophobic, and they makes you feel like you're being birthed again. But
they had something like that at our enemy Hallowscream before in a house, and it was pretty scary.
So maybe it's the same thing.
It might have been Hallowscream, yeah.
But that makes you feel like you're getting pushed underground. So, I don't know, that's stupid. But I don't really know. Other than that, there needs to be a graveyard scene. It's boring, but there needs to be an outdoor graveyard scene where you feel like you're at a graveyard, like they have with graveyard games.
Yes.
I just don't really know what else or how else they would do it, because Grave of Flesh, again, doesn't give anything away. It's a very vague name.
Yeah, I think so as well. So I have for the style of house, I kind of put classic horror. I think it will be like that. It'll feel like just classic, but I also put body horror. I feel like there might be body horror in here.
Okay.
Because if we're dead and we have these fleshy zombies, maybe they're all just disfigured and gross and stuff like that. So that's what I'm kind of getting for my vibe on this one. What do you guys have?
Fear of decay was something I was thinking. So I think it'll play on that fear. Like you said, the bad guys will be fleshy, nasty, zombies that are decaying in front of you, but that's all coming from the name of the house, because I don't really know. Outside of that, exactly. I don't really. I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be very organic.
Yeah, earthy.
Yeah.
I was thinking the smell of dirt is something I'm imagining. They're gonna have a lot of that heavy wet dirt smell.
Yeah. So Jamie, what is your kind of vibe for this one?
I also kind of put dirty, kind of I don't know, kind of macabre, weird, strange. It's hard to explain this one too without knowing too much backstory on it, and I feel like we're kind of, I don't know. It's just maybe it's because I'm not as interested in this house either, but
yeah, this is the. I think we've said it many times, but this is definitely the one we know the least about, I think, just from the name and the little short synopsis of it. Mm-hmm. So let's move on to our final two, and they're both, coincidentally enough, I think both of your IPs that we're looking forward to the most. So, Seamus, I'll let you kind of lead us on this one. So let's talk about Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout.
What do you think the facade is?
So the facade, I think, is going to be... I think it's going to be
first room, because it is.
It's going to be walking out of the Fallout entrance. So that very first entrance when you come through the Fallout, the vault door, there's that vault entrance, that vault door entrance. I think it's going to be that, and we're going to get the noise of the door opening.
Yeah.
As we're walking through it. I know that I think some people think that it's going to be. Don't you take that down. I think some people think it's going to be like primarily in the vault, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be a lot of outdoor quote unquote environments. And I think it's going to, like, when we first walk out, it's going to be us walking out of the vault. That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah. Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah, so I really don't know too much about Fallout because I didn't even finish the series to begin with. But I said that we'd possibly be walking into the vault. That was my best guess for this one.
Yeah. I think we start with kind of how the show starts. I think we start with the like wedding massacre when all the raiders come in and like impersonate the other vault. So I think we have that whole massacre, and then I think after that first 1 or 2 scenes of that wedding, I think that's when we head out into the wasteland itself. That's what I'm kind of guessing that is gonna.
Give me a second.
That's how it's gonna pivot us.
Gonna take this.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna kind of pivot us into the outside world or the wasteland or what have you. So that's kind of what I put. So, Jamie, what would you put for your have to have it room? I know you said you didn't really get to finish it, but
I didn't, but there was one scene that really stood out to me, and you guys could probably help me out a little bit with it. It was like they were outside of the vault, but they weren't really outside of the vault, and it was like fake, like blue skies and like picnic tables and like a grassy area and like a cornfield maybe or some sort of.
That's kind of like the wedding aspect.
Is that what I'm thinking? Okay, then I'd like to see that because I think that was really cool compared. It was a good contrast between how industrial it seems, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Seamus, what's your have to have it?
My have to have it would be the Super Duper Mart with the Mr. Handy.
Yep.
And somebody doing the voiceover, or that the recorded voiceover of the British voice. And like, again, I want the Mr. Handy to be like a puppet or some sort of like animatronic where it swings its like saw arm at you or whatever. It says, stand still, I'm just trying to like harvest your organs or whatever. I need that scene. And then obviously have some ghouls mixed in there, because in the show there were ghouls there, but Super Duper Marts are always full of ghouls in the games too, so I need that scene specifically.
I literally had the same. I need Matthew Berry's voice as, and I think in his IMDb they put him as Snip Snip. I don't know if that's
Snip.
That's
what they called. That's what they called the Mr. Handy in that scene, like that in the show. That Mr. Handy, his nickname was Snip Snip, but because that's what the 2 drug addicts call him.
Yeah, and that's what I need. I want the voiceover of Matthew Berry, the guy from What We Do in the Shadows, because he's the one that voices.
He's the one that plays him in the show. Yeah.
Which is funny because we actually see him in the show.
He is. Well. Yeah. Well, because they make a point to say, like, he talks about like selling out to the corpos, and he says like they even used my fucking voice for like that, just a robot to make life easy for housewives or whatever. So he's talking about the Mr. Handy.
Yeah, that's what I want. So the style of house, how would you classify this? I mean, it's kind of just classified the TV show itself, because we're gonna pick
so
the
this one I think
up,
to be honest with you, I think this is where we get. It's obviously going to be done in the style of the show, but I think we do get that retro nuclear age type feel that you get with the show and the game, where everything is very bubbly. The music is very bubbly, even though the setting and the theme is dark and, downtrodden and gross and post-apocalyptic. And so I think we get that feeling of being in the Fallout world, the universe. So that's kind of where I think they're going to go with it.
That's all. I put retro-futuristic.
Retro-futuristic. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Jamie, what would you define this as?
I like yours, Nick. Retro-futuristic was pretty good. I just kind of put immersive for this one and industrial, back to that word, but didn't really have too much how to describe this one.
Yeah, well,
not my best work.
Let's get to our last house then. This is the Jamie house. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Better work.
Facade. Again, similar, I think, to Terrifier. I think we'll have similar thoughts on where we should start this. But Jamie, what do you think the facade will be?
Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. I would hope so. Would be the entrance.
That's what I put. Like all dilapidated too, like the vines and shit. The sign's kind of busted.
Empty
like
parking lot. If
falling.
They could even replicate that, that'd be friggin' cool.
That's what I'm thinking.
Kind of like leading up.
Yeah. Seamus, did you have any other
No, I was thinking kind of like the Ghostbusters house where like you're walking into the pizzeria. So there's the neon sign, the car in the parking lot all beat up. The windows busted out, blood everywhere. Like that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It would be cool if
flickering street light would be flickering street light. Yeah.
It would be cool if we walked like not just straight into it. Like if they put us behind like a chain link fence, like with like no trespassing signs or something like that, and we have to walk along the fence, and we see it, and then we have to take a left, and then we're kind of going into the house.
I like that.
I think that would be fun.
It's a good idea.
Kind of like the entrance of Rock and Roller Coaster. When you can, with the chain link, you can see it all there. So it's just like something's up. Yeah. So have to have it room, Jamie. What are you putting for the have to have it out of this movie?
Security room is what we're going to have.
Like all the cameras and
the security room that Mike goes to. Yeah, because not only is it very iconic in the movie too, but they just replicate it so well from the games, and it's such a big part of the games too. And you spend most of the time, as I have, trying to figure out these games because I don't like reading or watching playthroughs and trying to figure out games of myself. But I think it's going to be very similar when we had The Last of Us. I remember when we did our unmasking tour, saying how it was like pretty much like prop for prop, like replication from the game. And I think that's going to be movie based too. But I feel like it's such a big aspect of both that you have to have it in there, and it's a pretty big element in the movie and the games too.
Yeah. Seamus, what's your have to have it?
I think we need to have a workshop scene where Foxy comes out at you. Messed up Foxy. Yeah. With like eye hanging off and like just screwed up looking character.
I need them on the stage playing Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics.
Yeah.
Like if they can get the rights to that song, like I need that song playing.
Also another classic scene. Yes.
Because I'm hoping they've made note of they've worked with Jim Henson on animatronics, so I'm hoping that those are the animatronics like up on the stage so people can't touch them and fuck with them. So that way they are protected, but still you get that stupid Chuck E. Cheese style vibe with that song playing over your
like when you're walking
speakers.
In like literally that could be the first scene as you walk into the pizzeria.
Yeah.
Like it's just them playing on a stage.
Yep. So that's what I have. So style of house. Jamie, what do you classify this as?
I think this is going to be, I had a couple for this one. I think this is going to be funny, immersive, nostalgic, heavily puppeted, but still cool. I don't know. More heavy on the nostalgic and immersive aspects.
Yeah. Seamus, what do you got?
I was going to say 90s retro. Like make it feel like a 90s Chuck E. Cheese experience, like what we would remember going to as kids.
Yep. Yeah, I have that along with lighthearted. I think this will be just a very easy, doable house for most. And I think this will be sort of the Easter egg house, sort of what Jamie said, having a lot of like little things from the games. Like, oh, did you see that? Like, I think this, for true diehard Five Nights fans, games included, I think there'll be a lot for them. I won't get to pick up on all that stuff, but like when we went through the Last of Us house, there was like a workbench with like, the sandbags and nails, and like those are the things in the game you use to build items. Didn't really play a part in the TV show as much, and I know the house was more based off the game itself, so it makes sense. But again, that was such a small little Easter egg that they didn't need to throw in, but the set designers had fun with it a little bit.
Right. It's kind of why I'm pumped for Fallout, because I'm going to be able to pick out all the little details that some people won't be able to pick out.
Yeah, exactly. So that is our Guess the House for HHN34. That's what we think is going to be in these. And only a week left until we know if we are right or way off.
One whole week. I can't wait that long.
A whole week. 7 more days, but don't worry, we got you covered. Check back on whatever streaming platform you are listening to. Check back on YouTube. We have new episodes every single day for the next 7 days. Yeah, 7, 8 today. Yeah, whatever. We have 8 episodes. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Opening day, we are back. That is it. Until next time, this is Nick.
This is Seamus.
This is Jamie.
Happy 1 week until HHN Podathon, baby!
Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on. And you can find us on all of our socials at Fear and Beer Pod.